Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for episode 59 in the challenge series. I almost said 58, we just did that one, Riker. And we have a bit of an interesting thing go on in this race, as, well, it's the first time somebody gets caught cheating. I'll get to that later. But for now, without spending too long on this opening shot, let's just go into race uno. First race of the episode is green. We head to Deep Forest for a 3-lap race in the 600 category. A couple people said this track might be too long for this, but well, most others are just like, well, if we just don't run many laps, it doesn't matter the length of the track, it just matters the length of the race. These are all racing-ish cars at the end of the day, so they should be able to handle whatever racetrack they have to deal with, as we are on board with the very unsteady Reiko Mishima in her Fairlady Z432. Or basically a 240Z, simpler terms. Already up 2 places. Looking at getting a third off of Andreas Vitalis. Not gonna manage that just yet though, but maybe on corner exit. And yeah, pretty easy on corner exit for that matter. Takes O'Reilly and Hilton 3 wide, sweeps ahead of a pair of them. Our leaderboard staff made his typo. There's an S in Centurizo's last name, I'm pretty sure. Also passed Pablo Hernandez along the way. Run down the hill. And already making pretty good time, only through 1 lap, and Mishima is looking at P8 already on Marcus Mendez, and she'll get that too. Mendez tried to peekaloo down the inside of the Fairlady. Oversteer. I know she likes her slidey cars, so I shouldn't really be surprised that she's wrestling this machinery around the track. She grew up on Ridge Racer, not Outrun, so, well, as if drifting's probably thinking Outrun. I've never played, but I think it is anyway. It's just ironic since, you know, her boyfriend's in the lead, driving his Daytona USA S13. As James Altenberg tries to defend from Ivan Sotokov, Reiko Mishima tried to find anywhere she could insert her vehicle to make it 3 wide, but she did not receive any space. She's pissed at something. I believe she may have just been rear-ended there. She makes a bit of contact with Rise going into this corner. And it looks like Rise was run into by someone? Huh? It looked kind of like something hit her, but I don't think anything did. Oh, no. Okay, no. Alright, so Rise apparently just didn't like being doored on the way into the turn. Rear ends Reiko, giving both drivers damage. Not slowing Mishima down a whole lot, though. She still carries on ahead of both Altenberg and Sotokov. Rise gave herself damage, so ultimately, I think maybe just letting her anger get the better of her, but I know these two interacted once outside of the challenge series, and it wasn't pleasant for any of them. I don't know if this is the start of maybe a little bit of bitterness between Reiko and Rise. It's hard to say for sure. And now Reiko is catching up to her boyfriend, Kazuma Hanamura. We're gonna have Z chassis versus S chassis. This is what it looks like right now. More oversteer from the Z. Meanwhile, in the back, I think Alice Carson just took third place away from Ibarazaki. Ivan Sodakov wanted to follow her through, could not. The door closed back there. There's oversteer going on back here, too. I'm not sure from who. But now it's getting close quarters between the two lovebirds. Yeah, that's about right. She gets to the inside of her teammate. They both turn their headlights off for some reason. Reiko is ahead. Oh my, huge oversteer. She has to kind of lean on her boyfriend just to keep the car from spinning all the way out. Another snap. Are you still happy you chose a loose car setup for this? He grabs a bit of slipstream and down the back straightaway. It looks like Mishima is still going to pull ahead of her teammate. Yeah, Cosmo just tucks in. Does he try and move? No, he's just complacent to sit in P2. He's got to lose to everybody. If he's going to lose to anybody, I should say, lose to his girlfriend. So despite damage, despite multiple snap oversteers, despite being slapped into by Risei Kujikawa, last turn, Reiko Mishima is going to grab the first victory of the race of the episode here at Deep Forest. Followed by her teammate, and then by followed by her boyfriend, and then by Alice Carson to round out the podium. Sodakov makes it to 4th place after starting in the mid-pack. And James Altenberg really struggled, to say the least. Meanwhile, Risei, who seemed to let her emotions cloud her judgment, ends up with last place because she broke her front bumper on the back of Reiko's car. So, I'm sure Mishima's quite the fan of that one. Not. And race 2 of the episode is, well, green, but also more like blue, because of all the rain. It's been consistently spitting rain for the last few hours here at Fuji, so there's already some track moisture as we get racing here in the 640 category. And we are on board with Melissa Weiss and her Gatorade Yaris. She and Fontaine bring some much-needed sponsor variety to the table. All of these cars with like racing regalia on them, and then she's just like, Gatorade! Oh, actually that's not fair, because like we have Yasuo with Nikon. I don't know what, like there's a coffee brand on this. I'm sponsored by a tool company. Oh, you. Yeah, apparently somebody was here looking for a Gente. And said she found me. Yes, we know each other. Might butcher the pronunciation. Satsuko Kuroe? Or is it Kuro? I don't know if it's Kuroe or Kuro. Let's say Kuro, because it kind of sounds cool. But it might be Kuroe. Japanese pronunciation, like Iwasaki before. She's another street racer, but she prefers lower, like, medium class Sylvia models rather than top-of-the-line R34s. One lap in, and I'm already getting damage. And Melissa Weiss is already through half the field. Because I know exactly where this came from, because obviously it happened to me. Right at turn 1. Thank you, Tyler. Very cool. I'm not the only one with damage either. Fontaine, Trevor Graham, obviously Tyler since he smacked into me. So 4 cars with some damage. Okay, so let's look through the other sponsors while we're just kind of scrolling here. We have, well, Coca-Cola on her car. He's got, like, not sure what. Tyler doesn't really have many sponsors. My dad has a radio station, Pacific Coast Radio, which I think is in somewhere on, like, SoCal. Not sure what they do. Nikon, IBM. I think he said his primary one is Mortinelli, which I'm not sure what that is either. I don't really know if Gracie Gordon even has one. It might just be Subaru, to be honest. It's the only logo I see on this car, anyway. And then, Teen, from Liv Newstein. I guess the main sponsor on Scuderia Fidanzi's cars is usually Blue Plus. Coffee, Ina Coffee, Echo. I think that's some kind of radio broadcasting equipment. My mom left the bathroom door open. Kuroe has Cafe Angel, I think, is her primary, and that's like down there on the side skirt. Gatorade, Blue Plus again. Maxwell Battery, I think, is Mizoto's primary. Yokohama's Drink Waters, and Monsoon. How appropriate. The person leading the race in these rain conditions is sponsored by a company named Monsoon. I don't know what that company does either. But back to the Focus driver of Melissa Weiss. Already up into 5th place, all-wheel drive on the CR is probably making her life a little easier, to say the least. Fernando Fidanzi tries to outbrake the ERS driver, but ultimately will not succeed in that matter. Staring down a podium position against the 8C of Risotto. Does she attempt some late braking? No. That was a line and a half. It was one of the racing lines I've ever seen. Oh, jeez. Weiss getting very much in close quarters with Mizoto. Has the much better exit and will take 3rd place away. Gets a huge exit as well on Drinkwater, so now taking 2nd place away. Curious that her hood has nothing on it. Never quite understood why not. And now she's got to catch the pickup truck of Cortex up ahead. Doesn't seem like she's going to struggle too much with that. Melissa Weiss knows her way around low-grip environments like a rainy racetrack because she has a history in privateer rally racing, so she's used to like snow even, let alone, you know, a light rain. And sweeps on the outside of Cortexa right into 1st place. And now she's just free to drive away, having mastered the elements. Risotto overtook Drinkwater as well. Fernando Fidanzi trying to do the same thing. Could not be any closer to the Radical, but can't brake late enough to get it done. Move on to the final lap now. Weiss has a decent lead. About a 1.5 seconds over the truck. Risotto is catching the truck, but he has totally missed his braking point there. Gonna harm his exit. Fernando eventually also got ahead of Drinkwater, probably on the front straightaway, as the SR3 really lacks straight line speed. Setsuko is under some threat from Francesca Fidanzi. Although she's taking a little bit of extreme caution in these conditions. Mid-engine Ferraris aren't known for having the best grip in favorable circumstances. And then with a little bit of rain on the circuit, and Francesca's just trying to survive, I think. Seventh place is better than sixth place in a junked car, especially knowing how Scuderia Fidanzi's financial statements look. But I actually know how they look, but I can kind of insinuate that it's not very good. Insinuate. I can kind of infer that those statements are not very good. So Melissa Weiss heads out of the final corner here at Fuji. She has mastered the elements. She's not an avatar, but she is the winner here at Fuji. Damien Koteksa will come home second place. Nico Misoto third place. Fernando Fidanzi fourth. Ross Drinkwater, the Rainmaster, as he calls himself, not really mastering anything today, and Francesca's gonna get Setsuko at the line for P6 anyway. For good things come to those who wait, and in this case, good things is sixth place. But seventh on debut for Setsuko in not the easiest conditions, so can't really be too upset with that performance. I mean, she could be, I just think it'd be foolish if she were. And on to round 3. And we are green for the third race of the episode. It is time for a 680 class race. We head to Laguna Seca. I have forgotten to put the race info on the screen. There we go. Standard 4 laps. Probably a bit of a shorter race, since Laguna Seca's laps aren't too long. We might reach 6 minutes. Of course we will. We're gonna reach probably 6:20, I think. Yeah. Forgot, I can just look at the replay link. Yeah, so this is Emilia Fontaine's new vehicle, which is a Celica. Not much unlike Melissa Weiss. Same model, same everything like that. I think it's one model year earlier. That's the only real difference. Alright, Tyler. Just dive bombs Fontaine and ends up running into my dad a little bit. No damage, but probably a raised eyebrow or two. My dad's quite patient, but not endless. Nobody has damage on that one, which is admittedly kind of rare. I know, no damage, no catastrophes, nothing. At the moment, ironically, Melissa Weiss is leading. Coming off of victory at Fuji, she also got pole position for this race. Fontaine gonna go 3 wide with Song and Katsumi. A bit of a squeeze from the Z8, but the Celica advances positions into the top 10 now, just over a lap into the event. Thought I saw some smoke being kicked up back here, but no. Well, that's not very Fidanzi of you. Fernando just runs Fujikawa right off the track. Nope, Falcon ran to the back of Gemini. Now they both have damage. I had to say something on lap 1, didn't I? Fontaine's gonna get 2 free spots here. There they go into the pit lane. Melissa Weiss continues to run away. Fontaine now finds herself in P6. Seven cars with damage on this lap. I didn't see half of those. I don't want that. I would estimate the bulk of it comes in the corkscrew. Oh, yep, Miyako just aggressively brakes against Fontaine earlier in the lap. Didn't see that. I missed this. I was too busy looking at the fact that Gemini and Falcon had damage. That would be why. And that unsettled Francesca's Testarossa, forcing Gemini off track. So Falcon never ran into the back of Gemini at all. Falcon ran Francesca into the back of Gemini at the corkscrew. Francesca is caught up in the grass. Fontaine narrowly avoids disaster as Krieger is trying to move over to avoid this. He fails, smacks right into the back of Francesca. More damage. That's going to be a hefty repair bill for old man Francesca. I'll tell you that right now. So now back to current times. Top 6, just kind of equidistant right now. Everyone's pretty much in a single file line, except for Kira is trying to pass his brother. A little bit of contact between the brothers there. I just realized there's another person I never looked at. How did these two get it? Did Axel become a klutz? No, it wasn't the corkscrew. Barbara had it sooner than that. I think I just heard Axel beep, like, get out of the way. Barbara just took a really dumb line there, I'm not gonna lie. Was she, like, I guess she was maybe defending from Axel? Why would she even defend into this corner? Somebody wasn't trying to pass Fontaine from there. That was just not smart. Okay, once again, back to present day. I feel like I've watched the leaders take turn 1 there about 6 times now. Well, we're going further than that. I can't help but notice that it looks like Fontaine's car came from straight out of Rally Monte Carlo. Like, it's even got the fog lights and everything. Like, do we really need those for this? It's clearly, like, early afternoon. Your sight should be fine without giant bug-eye headlights. Top 4 got a little more constrained this time. Thrasher tried to look for an opportunity against Fernando, but found no room. Only finds a Celica, who backs out of trying to pass just there. Oh man, that's not quite the apex there, Fontaine. Fontaine gets cut off by Thrasher a little bit. We're on the final lap. Fontaine is forced a little wide by Fernando. So she returns the favor, forcing him wide into turn 2 to make up the spot. Not really, just a bit of elbows out driving, no real intent behind that other than I'm overtaking you. It's not like, I don't think there's going to be any punches thrown post-race. That's just, hey, you forced me wide, now I'm forcing you wide. That's the law of ultimate exchange, Fernando. Fontaine finds a curb. More evidence to me that this car is built more like a rally car than a race car, as she was able to absorb that curb with relative ease. And now it's Celica versus Celica. And I know these two know each other, and then that past acquaintance was not super pleasant. petty boarding school, high school girl stuff, hot girl stuff. Even though I don't really think either of these are particularly attractive, but that's just because it's not my type. At any rate, Fontaine gonna try the outside. Weiss defends. Fontaine just forces her way through. Didn't do anything on the last lap, including apparently putting the leader into the grapple. But that'll do it. Emilia Fontaine is gonna get the victory at Laguna Seca. Weiss hangs on to second. Thrasher has stolen third at the last possible second from Reiko Mishima. But the race ends, another look at that last lap move. And so Weiss is like kind of in the middle of the track. Left the car width on both sides though, just about. Fontaine sees that car width and decides she's going to use that car width, force her way in, and force her way out, putting Weiss in the sand. So that's within the bounds of the rules of driving standards. Because while you did kind of run her out of the way, it's not like Fontaine had any intent to hurt Weiss, it just intended to pass her. And that's the gist of the rule. Contact is allowed, just don't try to take somebody's life. Don't try to intentionally hurt someone. Just move them out of the way. Door them, get bump and run, block them, whatever. Just don't try to kill somebody because you want to have third place or whatever position. So that'll round off this event. Just looking up and down the order. I remember him getting damaged. Huh. So that will end things here in race 3. Krieger's not had the greatest time here since his debut a few episodes ago. He's gotten damage in 3 of his 4 appearances up to this point. So yikes! That is all. Yikes. Race 4 of the episode is green. We're right on board with Natasha Harris as we get set for 760 class racing here at a very, very dark Trial Mountain. Why do we always insist on night races here? I don't understand. Like 70% of the races we do at the circuit are nighttime. The track was perfectly fine in the daylight. I don't understand why it has to be a night race every time. By any margin, Natasha with a bit of a slow burn start. It is pretty hard to make up places on lap 1 at Trial Mountain and do so safely. Although I don't really know if Natasha has the most concern for safety, well, I know at the very least she only has 2 or 3 enemies. So she's not going to run somebody like David Danvers over because she has a very specific opponent picked out. And she cares not for, you know, the daily grind of anybody else. This was apparently a miss. Another miss from the leaderboard staff. We are very good at that today, aren't we, guys? Or this week. This is definitely Yuval Kalakuta. Ignore the fact that there's somebody from Finland driving it. That guy is not Finnish. He's from Cyprus. And he's of Indian descent. We're still well pitting. We have a few cars pitting. We'll just analyze who they all are once everybody's past them, because you can see Terrence is in the pit lane, so the game thinks he's 10th. Wow, alright, goodbye. Right now it is Barber versus Pacific Spirit near the front. Wayne Hansen probably wants to get up there, but he's got Gwozdowski in his way. And he's not an easy pass, and nor is Francesca. Boy. What the? I think Hansen just got a fit of understeer and hit the outside wall there. Good job. Eric goes to pass his teammate Francesca down the back straight away. Well, that's easy to get. The Ferraris in this race are playing some leapfrog, apparently. Francesca gets overtaken by two Ferraris on one straightaway. And gets smacked into by Wayne Hansen. Alright, yep. That doesn't surprise me one bit. What they're looking at here. Three drivers took completely different lines. They about all just played dominoes on each other's cars. Oh boy. Dom DePrisco tries to make a play for the lead, and shoots right on the outside of Barbara, so he will, in fact, get the lead right then and there. Can Brian Ice follow his teammate through ahead of the vet? Does he dare try to make himself even a little bit vulnerable, considering, well, I think he knows just as well as you and I do who's in his mirrors right now. A bit of a nudge from Natasha. Maybe that was a warning shot. I'm surprised she's even firing those, to be honest. Oh dear God, red flag it, red flag it. Yep, that's two very expensive DNFs right there. And, yeah, that'll be the race. So, Dom DePrisco is the winner, and sort of at least a hollow victory for Pacific Spirit Racing. He got the lead right when it mattered. Barbara will remain in second, and Eric Gwozdowski will take third. Let's just move on to race 5. I've seen enough. And we are green from the roulette race of episode 59. And we head to an unusual circuit in the Challenge Series. We haven't, I think we've been here exactly one time. As we just watch our POV driver get cut off going into turn 1 by Jeremiah Wood. Veronica Katsuragi starts last in this one. And it is the Circuit de St. Croix. Probably one of the most unusual tracks, like, available. We don't run here very often. And most drivers would probably tell you that there's a pretty good reason for that, or at the very least, they would say that they aren't exactly upset. But there's like the odd couple that like it. We just have Germany rolling through here. What the heck? Kaiser, Brandt, Meyer, and Stuber are all running in a row. Never mind. Stephanie has passed Axel Valentine. And then there's Barbara back here for another German. This race has 5 Germans in it out of a 20-car grid. The time limit on this race tells me that they'll probably be looking at a 3-lap event here in the roulette round. Lap length here almost comparable to like something of a shorter Le Mans. Makes sense then that both are in France, I suppose. And now it's time for Siegfried Brandt to do Siegfried Brandt things, including apparently get front aero damage. Motoi Iwasaki and myself are the 2 leaders. Iwasaki's probably used to chasing down S14s, no doubt. Probably not one like this. There hasn't been a whole lot to look at in this race, to be honest. Axel Valentine just playing defense, being an obstruction for a bunch of the other drivers. Oh, that was almost disastrous. We've seen something like that happen before. Meyer had to pit there, but Stuber was a little bit oblivious. Eventually, Meyer had to push him down into the pit lane with her. It was frankly stupid. Does someone explain me why my car sounds like a hybrid? My car is dead silent. Hello, replay, GT7. It's only my car. There we go. Bit of Nissan wars for you. Myself versus Iwasaki. Veronica Katsuragi is also catching up to this, so we're gonna have basically me versus the Shutoku Expressway. Myself versus Jinsei versus the first person to ever beat Jintei. No, we need a Thrasher, the person who beat Jintei in a Mustang. But he's not in this race, so I don't think. No. Hang on to the back half of the lap, and Katsuragi takes both me and Iwasaki on the outside of the sweeper. However, that NSX kind of struggles in a straight line compared to the likes of my S14 and Iwasaki's Skyline. At least I thought it did, apparently not. Just struggling against me. Oh my word, Axel. Pantera's got enough horsepower, it's actually keeping 4 720 class cars at bay. He's finally been overtaken by my dad. Barbara's down to his inside. She gets ahead of both Axel and my dad. It's heads-up play from her. Axel tries to fight back against my dad on the outside of the hairpin, but he's eventually defeated. But he's still keeping Nope, not Nico. Mika and my mom behind. And meanwhile, at the end of the second lap, still me ahead. Veronica really pushing it through that turn. Almost pushing it right into me. Finally, all things come to an end. Axel Valentine is behind the 720 cars, at least some of them. Still ahead of Meyer and Stuber. This is definitely a front-loaded category race. We have 2 600 cars, 3 640 cars, 3 680 cars, and then 4 680 cars, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, not Iwasaki, 9 720 class cars, and then 2 760s, myself and Iwasaki. Veronica's car is having little to no issues keeping up with me in a corner, just that once we get onto the straightaway, I have more than double her horsepower. So she's kind of powerless the second we get out of these turns. All I really have to do is play to my car's, strength and capabilities, and don't try and overdo it through a corner, and eventually I'll win, because guess what? The lap has a pretty long freaking straightaway, about 2/3 of the way through it, but in the meantime, me and Veronica continue to fight over the lead, heading down towards the bridge. Iwasaki watches from a distance, just in case somehow one of us collects the other in a crash, but I tend to imagine we're probably better than that. I like to think we are, at the very least. Well done, you overtaking me, but unfortunately, LS engine, so get ratioed. Veronica wanted to cut back, but there was no opportunity for that there. And Veronica can do little but watch as I just drive off at top speed. 216 to her 196. And my car is mute again. Pretty please explain this to me. Why is my car just an electric car sometimes? Veronica's trying for one last gasp here at St. Croix. That was probably her last opportunity, though, into that braking zone, because the front stretch is going to be just long enough to get me away from her. I think she was once again just pushing in the last turn. She nearly runs me off the road, damages my car, but the repair bills ain't going to stop me from winning here at St. Croix. Veronica's second place category victory, obviously by miles. Iwasaki is third. Stephanie Kaiser is the next 720 class car along, and she is quite a ways off. And then we have the train behind her that were held up by Axel Valentine for so long. Barbara wins out of that group. For whatever that means, that's still third in class. And the game's not going to load back out, but I'm pretty sure Axel Valentine won in his category. I think Jeremiah Wood won in 640, and it's pretty safe to say AJ Unleaded won in the 600 class. So, as we continue to stare at this black screen, that'll do it for episode 59 here in the Challenge series. We are, about to pass the quarter way mark of the calendar. Already almost gotten 3 months into the books here in the second year of the Challenge series, so it's going along, I guess. I don't know what else to say on that.